The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Gu, Senior Policy Advisor and Designee for NYEZ Chair Maria Torres-Springer, Deputy Mayor of New York City for Housing, Economic Development, and Workforce. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the New York Empowerment Zone Corporation for today, Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. I'd like to note for the record that the public has been given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments at or before 5 p.m. yesterday to nyezc@esd.ny.gov. I'd like to further note for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I'd like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the agenda items. If so, I'd ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourselves from any discussion or vote regarding such item.
I don't believe that I have any problems, but I am a funder for People's Theater Project.
I'm sorry, a funder for the project. So you're a lender on the project that you make?
I am not. My foundation gives money to People's Theater Project.
They're a grantor
They're a grantor.
for the project.
I would suggest that you recuse yourself if that's possible from the vote on that for People's Theater, just because you're making a loan to an entity that you give a grant to, that your foundation gives a grant to. So there's a potential appearance of a conflict. That's all.
If he recused himself, can we still continue though?
Yes, you can. You have a quorum. You can continue.
Okay.
Do you need a unanimous vote? That's the,
With a recusal, you still have the unanimous vote.
Good.
okay.
Okay, so we'll note the recusal for the record. I'd also like to take a quick moment to welcome Anna Peisier, the Senior Vice President for Community Relations, Real Estate Development, and Planning. We will now consider initiatives of their Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone. The first item is a bridge loan to the Harlem Biospace to be presented by Gina Bolden Rivera.
Good morning. We are recommending a $1.5 million bridge loan to Harlem Biospace to be reimbursed by an Empire State Development Corporation grant. Harlem Biospace is a multi-tenant laboratory facility that is currently under construction in the Mink Building at 1361 Amsterdam Avenue in West Harlem. It is the second commercial lab space operated and managed by Dr. Samuel Sia of Columbia University. The first Harlem Biospace is located down the block from the Mink Building at 423 West 127th Street. Both lab spaces are supported by public funding. New York City Economic Development Corporation contributed to the build out of the first one. And as we mentioned, they have a grant from Empire State Development for the second. Harlem Biospace is expected to create a 10,250 square foot step out space for early stage, small and mid-sized life science companies at the 5th floor of the Mink Building. As a joint effort, it's being conducted by Janus Property Company, who's the sponsored developer of the building. The building includes 11,000 square feet of space for life science anchored tenant, currently Volastra Therapeutics. The loan would fund the remaining amount of the build out for the project. The overall cost has been 39 million, and the 1.5 million will be used to fund furniture, fixtures, and equipment, as well as the last bit of the build out.
It's 3.9 million.
I mean, 3.9 million.
Are there any questions or comments from the directors with regard to this item?
I would just say that we're happy that we're able to, help advance this project, unlock some of the funding from NYS, ESD, and that this is part of the city's broader push for life sciences. And it's going to, have that happen both in Upper Manhattan as well as projects that are in other parts of That's it.
As noted earlier, we do not have comments from the public with regard to this item. I'll now entertain a motion for approval.
So,
Second,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. The next item is the People's Theater Project. Gina, you can begin when you are ready.
People's Theater Project is a nonprofit cultural entity founded over 15 years ago. And it is Manhattan's largest performing arts organization north of Harlem. The proposed project will serve as the organization's first opportunity to buy and operate a space. And it would move its 23 staff members from the leased space nearby. The building will house the theater that is currently under construction after a groundbreaking in 2022. The proceeds will support the build out of the theater that People's Theater Project must contribute towards the project. The proceeds will support including offices for staff, a multi-use development currently being built in Inwood, and the ownership will be under a condominium unit. The loan will be the loan will be supported by a grant from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in the amount of $9,425,000. The project will be located at 405-407 West 206th Street, New York, New York, in the Inwood section.
Are there any questions or comments from the directors with regard to this item?
I would just like to say that this commitment is going to permit the build out and construction financing. It really is going to enable the project to reach completion, and it will unlock the city grant funds proceeds to allow the project to continue. So we're pleased to be able to work on this project and unlock not only this cultural affairs funding, but it's also tied to EDC's funding. So it's about $24 million total funding. This initiative will help free up funding.
Anyone else? Okay, as noted earlier, we don't have comments from the public with regard to this item. I'll now entertain a motion to ratify.
Motion?
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Let the record show that I abstain.
recuse yourself.
Then I recuse myself.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. This motion carries. Is there any other business? May I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your participation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Real quick.
I see you. Okay.
Hey, how are you? Good. How long have you been alone?
October.
Oh, wow.